Hey guys, what is going on? So I wanted to talk about Sigma, which is the product that I talked about in my video yesterday, and just kind of give some updated recommendations in terms of dosing, safety protocol, and stuff like that. As I watched Derek's video, and I know a lot of you guys didn't end up watching that, so I'll try and summarize some of the key points in terms of safety protocols and stuff like that. But that video that I recorded yesterday was recorded in advance because the Sigma launch was actually delayed multiple times. Okay, so I mentioned in that video via some text that Derek was going to be releasing a video. He actually messaged me the night before saying that, so I didn't know until, again, the day before. So I just kind of wanted to go over how some people might have initially been looking at this product versus, how I would recommend dosing it and stuff like that. Okay, so some of you guys, bought it like right after it launched, so you probably didn't have time to watch Derek's video. And I know some of you guys actually ordered multiple bottles. Okay, so I really want to emphasize this. The bottle size is massive. It is 240 capsules, and the maxed out dose is 4 capsules. Okay, so that is, a minimum of 60 servings. This is also a product where they recommend that you cycle it as well. So this should last you about 2.5 months on the low end, but I would actually suggest taking kind of the 1 serving size as opposed to the max out dose. So that would actually last you about 5 months. Okay, so when people are buying 2 of these, or they're just buying it without really knowing what they're going to dose it at, I just kind of want to go over some of the things that Derek said in his video regarding how they, made the ingredients and how they dose them per capsule and stuff like that, and how that was very intentional. Okay, so I mentioned in my video yesterday about the toxicity that is kind of shown in rodent models. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind is that the weight. So let's say there's a supplement and it's like, okay, it's X amount of milligrams per kilogram. There is an equation that is involved in terms of actually determining what an equivalent dose is for humans, and the same thing is true for time horizons, right? So 1 rat day is the equivalent of, I think, 34 human days. So if a rat is on a supplement for a day, that's like a month for humans. Okay, so some of these protocols where they had rats on Fadogia, for example, for like 5 days or for 28 days, that's like 6 months to like 3 years of continued use. And that is also, we have to equate for the milligram per kilogram dosage and stuff like that. But Derek basically designed this product with the doses in mind where you would be in that kind of minimum effective dose range, kind of that Goldilocks range where you wouldn't have any potential problems, right? That's the goal. So when Andrew Huberman talked about on his podcast and, dosages that have worked for him in terms of, 600 milligrams of Fadogia, 400 milligrams of Tongkat Ali, that is the maxed out dose for Sigma. And so I think a lot of people see that dose and they're like, okay, this is the amount that I'm going to take. When in reality, the way that this product was designed was to have, okay, 1 capsule is 150 milligrams of Fadogia. Instead of other brands giving you like 600 milligrams in 1 capsule, it's forcing you to take kind of that maxed out dose. And that is, kind of, if you're concerned about toxicity or long-term use or anything like that, that is not erring on the side of caution. Okay, so taking a 150 milligram dose, taking a 300 milligram dose of Fadogia, or maybe 450, depending on where you kind of fall on this scale, that I think is more responsible in terms of, not having side effects or not having any issues in terms of toxicity or anything like that. Okay, so these are in rodent models, so that's why this is something that should kind of be seen as, better safe than sorry, right? Try a lower dose, try 1 capsule, try 2 capsules. And that's why the product was designed in the way that it was to not have these maxed out dosages that could potentially be problematic. Okay, so I'm not saying that taking the full dose is going to be problematic for you. I'm just saying that the likelihood of anything being problematic is always going to be at a higher dose, right? So taking 200 milligrams of caffeine versus a gram of caffeine are 2 totally different things, right? Or another ingredient in this product, which is ashwagandha. So ashwagandha, taking at lower doses and cycling on and off is probably a lot safer than long-term ashwagandha use at high doses. Okay, so pretty much any supplement, if you take too much of it for too long, you're going to have issues. Okay, so Some of these products we know about potential side effects, some we don't. Okay, so Fadogia, we do have that rodent data. Now, a lot of these, like a 28-day period for rats, again, is like 3 years of continued use. And obviously these are rodent models as well, so they don't necessarily translate into humans. But again, the whole idea of the dosing of this product is more so be in that Goldilocks zone, be in that, better safe than sorry zone. And realistically, if you're going to be somebody like me who didn't get blood work before, so they're not actually tracking, how much did my test go up? Where's my luteinizing hormone at? SHBG, stuff like that. If you're not actually tracking that stuff, taking the full dose, I think is probably irresponsible. And I think going on the lower end of the dose is a better idea. Okay. So, this is basically something where you can go ahead and you can say, okay, make sure that your diet's perfect. Make sure that your sleep hygiene is perfect. Make sure that you're working out X amount of times per week. Okay. And that's a very easy thing to say, but it's like, who has perfect diet, perfect sleep, perfect workout routine? Who is taking care of all their external factors in terms of testosterone production? Probably no one, to be honest. So I think it's like something where you can say, okay, make sure everything else is perfect before you try something like this. Or saying, hey, make sure that you get your blood work done before and after to see how this works, okay? But realistically, the vast majority of people are not going to be in that situation. And the people who are buying this product are, I would encourage you to kind of reinforce having positive, lifestyle changes and making sure that you get good sleep, exercise, food, everything like that. But realistically, nobody's perfect. And I know that the vast majority of people are probably not going to be getting blood work done, okay? Even, somebody like me, I did not get blood work done before I started taking this stuff. And it's like, okay, you should do this. You should have perfect diet. You should have perfect sleep. But the reality is that for those of us who are probably not going to be in that perfect zone, for those of us who are not going to be like tracking, our hormones and stuff like that, especially for people who don't have access to Derek and stuff like that and don't really know what's going on there, it's much easier for somebody who has a lot of, practice in terms of blood work, knowing what this stuff means and stuff like that. I'm just saying it's not 100% realistic to expect everybody to have perfect everything and to get their blood work done and all this stuff. Okay. So if you are in that camp, which is me, then I would recommend not going straight for 4 capsules, and starting out slow and saying, okay, this is a really cheap product. If I take my time with it and if I cycle it and if I use it in appropriate fashion, and, you could say, okay, well, I'm probably not going to end up paying for blood work, but I would still like to see if this product works for me. Well, don't just start out at the maximum dose. And if you are going to use the max dose, that's probably where it's even much more recommended to do something like blood work, or make sure that you have, perfect, everything else, which again, I think is a little bit unrealistic. But the point here is to say, for all the people out there who are buying this product because they want to increase their tests a little bit, they want to get a little bit better free tests, I don't think that this product should be exclusive to people who have perfect lifestyles as well as regularly get blood work done. I just think that's like such a small minority of people, and I think that that would be kind of, especially for me to say that, because I don't have perfect, any of that stuff. I don't have perfect any of that stuff. I don't get blood work either, as I'm a natural, and I'm sure most of you guys are natural as well. And it's like, should I get blood work? For sure. Should I get better sleep? Should I have a better diet? Should I have all this stuff? Sure. But it's like, is that going to prevent you from trying a supplement that could potentially be, beneficial? Probably not. So I would say, if you're not willing to completely revamp everything in your life, at least don't go in that full direction of saying, okay, I'm going to do the maxed out dose and I'm going to try and do this without tracking anything, right? I would say there's kind of this area in between where you can be kind of suboptimal in certain areas and potentially try this product and take like 1 or 2 capsules and maybe get a smaller benefit than somebody who, took 4 capsules, but you're also making sure that you are, taking a dose that is probably not going to give you any harmful like side effects or long-term things. And again, cycling as well, right? They recommend to you take 4 weeks on, 1 week off, as opposed to doing this for like 3 years on end, right? The more safe that you can be with this, I think the more loose you can be with like tracking, your hormones and stuff like that. Okay. So it would be very hypocritical of me to be like, everybody needs to get their blood work done if they take this product. Everybody needs perfect sleep and perfect everything, when I'm not that person, when I'm literally not even getting my blood work done. Okay. So just really wanted to point that out. Because I think a lot of people, I just don't want people to take this product and be like, oh, this product's really cheap, I might as well just take the full dose because I can afford it. It's like, please be a little bit more responsible and kind of, I don't want anybody having any negative side effects or anything like that. So I would say just take it slow and realize that this is a, you know, relatively affordable product, especially if you're running it at a low dose. And then just be like, okay, this low dose can help me minimally. And then if I want to titrate up, if I eventually want to get my blood work done, that's something I can do in the future. Okay, so anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I will keep you updated, and I'll talk to you soon.